Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So, sihat semua pagi ni?
Sihat, Madam.
Okay, Alhamdulillah. So, kita mulakan, we start our class today, tutorial class. Okay, we recite our formal kitab Al-Fatihah. Okay, semua dah dengar kan rakaman lecture daripada Madam Syafi ni? Okay, so law of agency is governed by Contract 1950 means the provision regarding agency law in Malaysia we refer to, this is the law enacted by the Parliament, Contract Act 1950. Akta Kontrak tahun 1950. Okay, for law of agency, the provisions are from section 135 until section 191. So Contract Act 1950 consists of 191 sections. Dia ada 191 peruntukan undang-undang sections. Okay, law of agency from section 135 or until section 191. Section 1 to section 134 governing law of contract in Malaysia. Okay, so kita belajar agency dulu, then contract, because agency is for your test, assessment 3, and law of contract is for your final exam. Okay. Okay, definition, relationship between principal and agent. Okay, this is under section 135. Okay, basically there are two separate contracts. One is under contract of law of agency and the other one is under law of contract. This is the example. Okay, contract of agency is a contract or agency relationship, hubungan agency, agent and the principal. Here, principal is the boss. Okay, agent actually is a middleman to make a contact with the third party. Okay, so the agency relationship is here between the principal and the agent. Okay, agent as a middleman. The contract actually is between the law of contract is between the principal and this client. Okay, so what is the authority as an agent here? His authority, kuasa dia as a middleman to make a contract okay, on behalf of the principal to discuss the price of the goods, for example, okay, with the third party. Okay, if the principal is a bank, so agent is a broker, the banker, or the auctioneer. Okay, and the third party is the client or the customer. Okay, then there will be contract law between the principal and the third party. So law of agency is governing this relationship, relationship between principal and agent. Okay. There are 5 ways to create agency relationship between principal and agent. Okay, by express appointment, implied appointment, by ratification, agency by necessity, and agency by estoppel. Okay, today I want to explain agency by ratification and a sample of past year's examination question. And I want to explain the method of answering the problem-based question. How to answer this problem-based question. So this is agency by ratification, section 149, contract 1950. Okay, definition of ratification. Ratification means approval or confirm. Okay, confirmation or approval by the principal, okay, to his agent's conduct. Okay, agency by ratification arises into situation. There are 2 situations only that the principal can ratify or refuse to ratify. Can accept the contract, can confirm the contract, or reject the contract. Okay, first situation is an agent who is appointed exceed his authority. Okay, or a person who had no authority at all. Tak ada kuasa pun, but act as if he has the authority. Look at this example. The principal appoint agent to buy a second-hand van, but not more than 50,000. Agent bought the van, but for 60,000 ringgit. So in this situation, the agent has exceeded the authority, melebihi kuasa. Okay, kuasa to buy the van for 50,000, but he bought more than 50,000. So the agent tadi dah exceed the power. Can the principal confirm, ratify and accept this contract? Yes. If the principal confirm, approve and accept the contract, means there is ratification by the principal. Okay, or the second situation here, someone who has no authority. Okay, principal does not appoint the agent to buy van, but the agent bought a van for his principal. Then it's up to the principal either to ratify, to approve, to confirm, or to reject the contract. Okay, and according to section 149, principal has right to accept or to reject the contract, this contract. If the principal ratify, the principal accept, the principal confirm, the principal is liable for the contract. So the principal must pay to the third party. Okay. If the principal disown or reject the contract, then who will be personally liable? The agent is personally liable for the contract. Agent tu yang akan bertanggungjawab secara personal to the third party. Okay. Okay, under agency by ratification, however, there are 8 conditions to be fulfilled. So before the principal choose to ratify, make sure all 8 conditions are fulfilled. Okay, the act must unauthorized or the agent exceed the authority. This one here. Yang 2 situation tadi. The act must be recognized by law and legal. Okay, to buy van, yes, a valid contract, legal. Okay. The principal cannot ratify contract that is illegal. For example, when the agent bought drugs or dia buat done any criminal action. Okay, boss, I bought drug for you, 1 gram only. So in that situation, the principal cannot ratify because a drug is illegal contract. Okay, and then the third one, agent must inform to the third party that he has acted as an agent. Okay, dia adalah agent, dia adalah a middleman to make a contract on behalf of the principal, and agent cannot use his own name. Okay, when the agent use his own name, okay, the principal cannot ratify. Okay, because it will affect to the principal. Okay, as was decided in the case of Kelly Maxwell and Duran. Okay, here all the condition must be fulfilled. The principle must be in existence. Okay, if the principle is the company, so the company must be in existence. Mesti dah wujud, not during the formation of the company. Okay, if the principal is individual, a person, so he must be age of majority. Okay, 18 years old and not a minor. Okay. Then the principal must have contractual knowledge, mean the principal know what type of the contract made by agent and the third party, the price of the good, the type of the goods, for example, okay, the type of the van, okay. Then section 1152, the principal, if the principal choose to ratify, he must ratify the whole contract. For example, contract to buy house coupled with contract of insurance. So if the principal want to ratify, he must ratify the contract of insurance as well. Okay, and then a car, for example, insurance for a car. Okay, or another example, the principal cannot choose to ratify the contract, but according to the principal, I refuse to pay. No, if the contract, he must pay the price of the good, okay, to the third party. He must ratify the whole contract, not part of the contract. Okay, the ratification must be made within reasonable time. A reasonable time, this is depends on the situation or cases. For example, whether the goods are perishable nature or imperishable nature, mudah rosak ke atau tak mudah rosak, or depends on the price of the goods. Okay, for example, ratification 1 week after agent bought X, okay, was too late. Okay, here A ataupun yang apa, fruits, vegetables. Okay, so maybe the ratification can be made by the principal within 1 or 2 days only. So 1 week is too late. Okay. Case Grover and Matthew, ratification on the policy of fire insurance was made after a fire had happened. Okay, so the ratification void. Okay, so if ratification void, no ratification, so the agent would be liable personally. And then the last one here, number 8, ratification must not injure the interest to the third party. Make sure that when the principal choose to ratify, it would not cause the third party suffer loss. Okay, rugi. Okay, if the third party suffer loss, so the principal cannot choose to ratify the contract. Okay, actually this is past examination question for 20 marks. Maya was appointed by Raja to buy a piece of land for not more than 100,000. Maya exceed melebihi kuasa when she bought the land from Adam at a higher price. Okay, 110,000 in her own name. Miss Maya used her own name. Okay, Raja agreed to the contract. Okay, because he found that the location of the land was suitable to build his dream house. Raja came to seek your advice, advise him. So you have to advise the principal here. So once you read the question, identify who is the principal and who is the agent. Read the question carefully. So Maya was appointed by Raja. It shows that Maya is the agent and Raja as the principal. Okay, so how to answer the question? This is the method of answering problem-based question. There must be an issue, principle of law, application, and conclusion. Okay, so 4 steps here. Okay, this is a simple 4-step structure. First issue, number 2, the law, okay, or the principle of law. The third one is application, and the last one is conclusion. So what is issue? Issue here, legal issue. Issue according to the law. You have to read the question carefully and identify the relevant topic for discussion and write an issue based on the situation given. You should not rewrite the question. Okay, pay close attention to the question that is posed at the end of the problem. Okay, if any. Okay, in general, you will be asked to advise one or more. Okay, one, for example, advise Raja, advise Maya, or sometimes advise both parties. Okay, if both parties, so you have to advise Raja and Maya. If this is the case, ask yourself what the party would really wants to know. Okay, actually this is what the examiner want to know. Okay, for test, quiz, and exam. The answer to this question will be reveal the legal issue for determination. So your issue here, you will answer your issue, okay, when you conclude your discussion here. Okay, this is issue. Then state the relevant principle of law. This one you can refer to the notes. Students have to provide relevant point based on the issue. First, state the relevant statute act. So for example, this is referred to Contract Act 1950, the law governing law of agency in Malaysia. Okay, the principle of law refer to the specific section. So what are the relevant sections? Section 1, Section 2, Section 135, 136, 137. So not all sections are relevant. You just choose the relevant sections only. Okay, explain general rule, if any, and its exceptions. Okay, supporting cases and condition also are the relevant to the questions. Okay, so section, cases, you put under your law, the principle of law. You can refer notes this one. Okay, next is application. This is, there is no application. If you refer the notes, you refer the PowerPoint notes or note from Madam Shafini, there is no application. But you have to apply according to the questions, okay? So what is application? Application means apply the principle of law to the situation given. You apply the law that you have stated under your PL, your law. Okay, first you have to identify the parties and apply the principle of law above to solve the problems. Apply the sections and cases that you put or you refer or you have discussed under your PL. Means your application must tally with your PL. You just apply relevant section and cases that you have discussed under your law, under your principle of law. Okay. Then conclusion, give advice to the person based on the above discussion. The conclusion should be able to answer the issue stated in the beginnings. Okay, so here, for example, the issue in this situation is whether Raja could ratify the contract of purchase of land between Maya and Adam. Okay, or whether Raja can ratify the contract made by whether Raja can ratify the contract made by Maya in her own name. Okay, yeah. Or Maya use uh, uh, her own name. She used her own name when she made a contract with Adam. So whether Raja, okay, has a right to ratify the contract. Okay, this is under law of agency. Then the principle of law, the law agency is defined in section 135. I define section 135 and explain section 149, agency by ratification, because this question is regarding agency by ratification. So you don't have to discuss. There are 5 ways to create agency relationship. Formal appointment, express appointment, ratification, agency by necessity, and agency by estoppel. There are 5 situations, but you just explain one only. Explain ratification only, because this question regarding or this question is on ratification. Means the other method, agency by estoppel, for example, agency by necessity, there will be no marks if you discuss that with, okay, how to create agency relationship, because agency by necessity is not relevant. Okay, So the relevant type of creation or ways to creation of agency is ratification. Then explain here, agency by ratification arises into situation. Okay. And then choose the effect. What happen if the principal ratify? What happen if the principal reject or refuse to ratify? Explain. So this one, for PL, you can refer to the notes. Okay, and then explain all 8 conditions to be fulfilled. You must explain all. Okay, here. 8 conditions to be fulfilled. And the cases, relevant cases. Okay, this is the application. In this situation, first you have to identify, I want to know who is the principal and who is the agent. Okay, the examiner want to know. Okay, in this situation, Maya is the agent and Raja is the principal and Adam is the third party. Maya exceeded her authority when she bought the land at a price of 110,000 higher than the authorized by Raja. So this is apply section 149 to situation. Okay, exceed the authority. Agent exceed the authority. Then according to section 149, Raja could ratify, okay, if all the conditions are satisfied. So under application, you use the name of the parties. Once you identify the kenal pasti agent and the principal, you use the name of the parties here. Raja could ratify if all conditions are satisfied. You cannot use principal here. Principal could ratify because if you use principal, this is the law actually here. Okay, the law. So you change the name of the principal here according to the question. Okay, Raja know about the contract. He has contractual capacity. Okay, and he also can ratify within reasonable time. Okay, but looking at the scenario, even though Raja agreed to proceed with the purchase of land, okay, one of the condition was not fulfilled when Maya used her own name for the contract. Okay, therefore, kita nak apply case yang mana? Okay, applying Calimax Endurance means we apply this case. Raja could not ratify the contract because Maya had made an agreement under her own name and had also excluded Raja from any liability under the contract. So Maya would be personally liable. So this decision in the case of Calimax Endurance, we will apply here under application. Okay. So no need to explain the facts of the case and the judgment held. Tak perlu rewrite, tak perlu salin semula. It is stated under your PL. Here you just apply the case. Okay. Then your conclusion, Raja is advised not to ratify the contract because Maya had used her own name when she made the contract with Adam. Okay, 1 mark. So basically your conclusion will answer your issue here. Okay. Any question? Okay, and test assessment 3, test question test adalah question problem based question, same as final exam. Final exam also problematic question on law of contract. So you must do exercises, okay, or you must attempt as much as possible past year's examination question. So you will familiar with this method, how to create issue, what are the principle of law, how to apply, and the conclusion here. Okay, you must familiar with this method of answering problem-based question. Okay, ini untuk latihan ya. Please refer notes agency by necessity. Okay, and answer this question in Google Classroom. The question has been uploaded on Google Classroom. This is for 20 marks. Okay, this one also past year's examination question. So how to answer this question according to the method? Use here issue, the principle of law, application, and conclusion. Okay, so I want you to answer this question and do this exercise, and I will check your answer. I will share with you the complete answer. Okay, so please refer to the, you can refer to the sample, how to answer a problem-based question. Okay, any question? I hope it is clear on how, okay, here, to use this method or 4-step structure, okay, on answering the problems-based question or problematic question. So this is the method. Okay, masih ada issue, law, application, conclusion law, you can refer to your notes. But you must state relevant law only. Okay, section 142 not relevant, no marks will be given. Lagi ada section apa? Section 136, 137. Okay, not relevant. Duties as an agent pun not relevant because this is creation. Okay, any question?
Madam, boleh tengok balik tak contoh yang legal issues?
This one, Maya. Okay, this one similar, same question as I share with you last week. Ada dalam words. Dalam nota dalam words tu sama dengan ni. Okay, yang tu previous past years. Okay, yang tu nak beli apa? Kereta kalau tak silap, yang ni nak beli tanah. Okay.
Madam nak tengok contoh jawapan untuk issues.
Isu yang ni?
Okay, Madam. Can this issues in situation is whether Raja could ratify the contract of purchase of land between Adam and Maya. Lepas tu dia atau whether Raja can ratify the contract made by Maya in her own names. So kita kena state dua ni ataupun salah satu je?
Salah satu ke, you nak buat dua ke, nak buat tiga ke, ataupun whether, ataupun another example whether Maya is liable. Okay, contoh you dah buat ni kan issue, and whether Maya is liable for the contract because she use her own name. Pun boleh whether Maya is liable. Adakah Maya akan bertanggungan? Okay, because Maya use her own name pun boleh. Okay, so nak buat satu ke, nak buat dua ke untuk satu markah ni. Contohlah kalau yang pertama silap, yang kedua mungkin betul, so I will give you 1 mark. Okay. Ataupun tambah sikit, this question is regarding law of agency. The relevant issue is, apa dia? So issue means question to be discussed. So I advise you to use this word whether or not. Dia adalah persoalan yang perlu dijawab. Jadi buat seperti persoalan, tanda soal. Ni sepatutnya ada tanda soal whether. Ataupun, can Raja ratify the contract made by Maya? Okay, tanda soal pun boleh. Okay, nak guna perkataan can pun boleh Okay, can Maya will be responsible? Can Raja ratify the contract? Okay, pun boleh. Okay, PL you refer dalam nota. Nota tu adalah answer scheme. Okay, nota tu adalah answer scheme untuk principle of law. Okay, dan biasanya student tak ada masalah. Once you identify the question, you know this is under agency by ratification. Okay, you state lah semua ni berkenaan ratification. Problem sudah adalah dalam application. Okay, application means you will apply here. Agency, who is the agent, who is the principal, situation happen ni situation yang mana. Okay, if Raja ratify, Raja will be liable. Okay, and this one according to the question lah So yang this question is regarding issue condition number 3 ni. Okay, if you refer to another example of past year's examination question, they ada issue on here, within reasonable time. Pernah keluar soalan, principal ratify, but after the house is destroyed by fire. Okay, so kita boleh ambil case Grover and Grovers and Matthews. Okay, cuba buat dulu ya. Untuk latihan dalam Google Classroom, Ikram and Juju Enterprise, okay, you refer to notes under agency by necessity. You create the question, the issue here according to agency by necessity. Define agency by necessity section 142. Okay, ya, yang ni agency by ratification section 149. Okay, for agency by necessity, this one, your principle of law, you have to define 135 and define 142. Give a definition of agency by necessity, and then there are 5 conditions under agency by necessity. So explain 5 conditions under agency by necessity. Okay, and then case, refer to case under agency by necessity. Then you apply, you make a conclusion. Okay, so nanti you akan nampak what is the difference, okay, between these 2 questions. Okay, ada lagi soalan?
Saya tak ada rasa, madam. Thank you.
You kena try buat, cuba buat exercise. Then you will familiar with the method of answering problem-based question. Sebab bila student tak pernah buat exercise, nanti bila final exam, issue pun student tak buat. Okay, issue pun tertinggal, dah hilang 1 markah. Okay. Okay, kalau tak ada soalan, so that's all for today. Kalau ada soalan boleh tanya dalam WhatsApp group . Okay, tak ada? Alright, that's all for today. Boleh buat latihan ni. Latihan ni bukanlah madam nak hari ni. Okay, bila you ada masa, buat sikit-sikit, then post dalam Google Classroom. I want to read your answer, then I will give you the correct answer. Okay, according to the answer scheme. Answer scheme from UiTM Shah Alam. Okay, I will share, okay, this like this. This is the answer scheme, but I cannot photostate the answer scheme and distribute to student. Okay, tak boleh, that is confidential. Okay, kecuali buat balik macam ni, then share dengan student is okay. Okay, so you tak boleh lah datang madam, nak datang office madam, nak tengok answer scheme, yes boleh. Okay, nak datang office, you all yang dekat UiTM boleh datang office nak tengok answer scheme. But madam, boleh tak nak ambil gambar? Boleh tak nak photostate the answer scheme? No, it is confidential. Kecuali bila you buat latihan, and then in return I will give you the answer scheme. Okay, because the question is actually from previous or past year's examination question. Okay, alright, that's all for today. Thank you untuk kehadiran hari ini.
Thank you, madam.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Kalau tak faham tanya ya.